YouTube, Zyuoh here with a review of the Doubutsu Sentai Zyuohger Zyuoh Cube Busou Cube Mogura. So Mogura is mole in Japanese. I might say mole, I might say Mogura. I don't know. We'll find out, because I don't script these things. This was released in April of 2016 for about 800 to 1,000 yen, depending on where you picked it up. So very, very simple toy. I don't know why I brought it in frame yet. Like I said, I don't script these things. So it's a little tiny box, very similar to the Kirin box, except I think the Kirin box was this way. Mole is this way. So yeah, very, very small, very, very simple. Like I said, this is only about a $6 to $8 toy. So it's small, it's affordable, but it's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way and take a look at this guy. Boom, here he is, and I like him a lot. Like I said, he's a little bit different in style compared to Kirin, which was the giraffe. If I go ahead and bring him in frame. So he's quite a bit taller, obviously, because it's, well, a giraffe. When you lay it down like that, he is still quite a bit longer because, again, it's a giraffe. So he's a little bit different. He's a little bit more squat, but I like him a lot. He's neat. I like the drill. The drill, unfortunately, does not rotate whatsoever. It's just a solid piece. It's, well, two pieces, actually. But it would have been really cool if this rotated. I know there wouldn't be a mechanism to, like, have him roll and rotate it or anything like that because, again, these are cheap toys and are very, very simplified. However, it still would have been nice if this could rotate in the socket or something like that, just to at least sort of emulate a drill. But other than that, he looks kind of cool. He's got claws right there. I mean, obviously, they're just sides of the cube, but they're claws to me. So, got cute little eyes, all that. I wouldn't really say cute. He looks kind of angry, but I dig it a lot. He's neat. Nice, nice deep purple color, too. It looks really bad on my camera frame, but hopefully it'll look better once the video is actually rendered. To transform into a cube, all you actually do is flip up his nose drill thing and close him up. That's really all you do, and he's back to the normal Zyuoh Cube with the exclamation point on it. Just like Cube Kirin. Very simple transformation. They are the same exact size, but they're actually sort of like mirrors of each other because of where the joints are placed. You got his thick joint right there. Kirin's is over here. They got the rotation joints right up here on either side. So they're nice little mirrors of each other, which works considering where they're placed on Wild Zyuoh King. So to get him into his weapon mode, simply transform him back into his cube animal mode, and there's a small rotation right there. And that will reveal a peg hole right inside of his, well, his place. And then he can now slot into any of the fists of Zyuoh King or Zyuoh Wild. So if we take Zyuoh King, for instance, he can go ahead and, like I said, you just line up that peg with the fist hole right there. And now he has Cube Mole as a handheld drill weapon. And you can even take the King Sword out and bring in Cube Kirin and place him in there, so now he's like double cube animaled up for all those wild and crazy battles. And of course you can do the same thing with Zyuoh Wild. So you can take this, put it right into the fist slot if you can find it. Right there, and so now he's wielding Cube Mole. So pretty cool. I think it makes a little neat weapon for it. Especially with Zyuoh Wild, because you can do like these double handheld sort of guns, even though that's a drill, and maybe he fires the drill. Don't judge him. I don't know. So, that is that, but of course, we now have the final component of Wild Zyuoh King. So let's officially, we've been teasing this combination for 2 reviews now. So let's go ahead and just finally initialize this combination. Alright, your workspace should look something like this. It's just all of the Zyuoh Cubes that have been released so far, plus the big King Sword and the components of the big Wild Cannon. Gonna just set those aside for right now, as well as our 2 little cubes to focus on the big guns. So what you're gonna do is start with number 4, put number 3 right on top, follow up with 2 right on top of 3, and then 5 right on top of 2. 1 is going attached to this side of 5 with the blue part facing inward, while number 6 is going to attach right on this side with the gorilla head facing outward, the red part facing inward. You gotta do it right, you guys. So there we have that, and all we're gonna do is flip on over to the side. Go ahead and poke that right there to flip that arm out. Flip that around, and that will peg right back in here. Meanwhile, on the other side, there's no spring mechanism in Gorilla, so simply do all of that manually. You will need to extend that arm completely and lock that in. Down here, you're going to take Cube Mogura and attach it right down into this clip right there. And Cube Kirin, you're going to do the same exact thing to this clip right over here. And those will just snap in right there. Up on top here, take the cube portion of the big wild cannon, plug that right into the chest piece. Take the big king sword, slide that right in, reveal Zyuoh King's face. Go ahead and take the small wild cannon, open it up to reveal a neat looking head crest, and that will peg right in up here. And you are done. Of course, you can take the small wild sword out to make the head more screen accurate because he doesn't have a little man bun sticking up off the top of his head in the show. I like to leave it in generally because I don't want to lose it. But of course, you can just take it and go ahead and plug it into either of the hands of this guy so he can wield a tiny butter knife to go fight his enemies. And so here he is finally, the completed Wild Zyuoh King. All of the components are finally here, and here he is. And I know there's a lot of mixed feelings about this guy, but the more time I spend with him, the more I actually really like this, except for the arms. It's not necessarily the bulk up here, because I don't mind the bulk because it's supposed to be cubes. It's supposed to look like cubes, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But the arms themselves bother me. They're just very thin. I think Gorilla does a little bit better of a job. It's Eagle that really bothers me. When you get over here, Eagle's arm is a lot thinner than Gorilla's, plus you have this big hollow space thanks to the flippy part of the hand, so it looks wrong with two differently proportioned arms. That's what gets me the most. It's not the big blocky shoulders, it's just that the arms aren't the same size. He's got a big hand and a little hand, and there's really no good way to rectify this. One thing that you can do is go ahead and flip this arm out as well. And you can either bring this one in or this one in and peg that down, and it thickens the eagle arm a bit, but it's still quite a bit thinner than the gorilla one, and it doesn't fix the hand problem. So it doesn't really solve too many of the issues other than thickening the arm just a smidge. But yeah, outside of the arms, I like this a lot because it invokes what this line is all about. It's cubes, and I like it. I like this a lot. I also like how for the most part, it's a little bit uneven right down here in this section right here, but I do like how the leg split is sort of emulated. Now, the legs do look quite a bit thin just because of the way that the toy is designed, but Mogura and Kirin do a pretty decent job of trying to beef up the leg area a bit. And like I said, the more time I spend with it, the more it doesn't really look wrong to me. Now, in terms of wielding these guys, Mogura is no problem. All you have to do is pop Mogura off, extend his whatever, open up his little hand bit, and he can peg right into either of the hands. So he can wield Cube Mogura just fine. Cube Kirin, on the other hand, you have some problems because of this. He can't, like, there's no real easy way of doing this. The only real workaround I found is that you can peg him in on the side, which, thanks to that arm rotating that way, doesn't really work at all. You could also underhand him, which, again, doesn't really work all that well. But hey, the other thing is you can move this forward because of the way that joint is. And you can kind of get him to hold it like that. You can't really get him in a firing pose unless you're trying to shoot someone that's like up in the sky or something. So he can hold it, just not in the way that it would in the show or how a normal person would hold a bazooka. So you have to be a little bit more clever with it than you do Mogura, because Mogura just works just fine because of the way he is designed. But Kirin, not so much. You're just gonna get pegged back down here. So that really about does it for this. As for Cube Mole, I like him quite a bit. He is fun. I like him a little bit more than Giraffe, even though Giraffe's a more favorite animal of mine. Just because he's a lot more compatible with all of the mecha formations as opposed to Cube Kirin. But he's cute, he's purple, I dig him a lot, and he does help out the final combination by beefing up those legs area. In terms of the final combination, like I said, the more time I spend with it, the more time I actually really like it. Those arms do bother me quite a bit. I wish there was something they could do about that, but the way it's designed, it really isn't. Thankfully, it doesn't really seem like it's going to be a factor in future combinations, so that is a plus at the very least. But like I said, the more I look at it, the more I like it. I just really wish those arms were fixed. But other than that, having a blast with these. If you're late to the game, you can get this entire set you see on camera in a Wild Zyuoh King set. If you just are missing some pieces, you can buy them individually. You can buy Zyuoh King complete and buy Zyuoh Wild complete, or buy the Zyuoh Wild components individually. So there's lots of ways to buy this, so you're set either way. So that about does it for this review. If you like it, go ahead and blast that like button, comment below, and subscribe for more. So as always, thanks for watching, take care, and have a great one. Bye.